Now, the refrain that standards of parliamentary functioning have taken a beating in recent years is not without merit. Because today, both houses of parliament failed to function, leading to adjournments. In the Lok Sabha, opposition members tried to raise the Gautam Adani issue and the farmers' protest, leading to more adjournments. The opposition MPs had earlier protested over the Adani matter. The billionaire is facing bribery charges in a US court on the parliament premises, with MPs of the Trinamool Congress and Samajwadi Party, in fact, skipping the agitation. Everybody's asking why did they choose to do so. The Rajya Sabha too saw disruptions and adjournments as MPs from the Treasury benches demanded a discussion on the alleged links between the Congress party and Hungarian-American billionaire, philanthropist and investor George Soros. The opposition has raised crony capitalism and government hitting back by raising the Congress-Soros link. It seems like we are heading towards another washout. Meanwhile, the rift within India bloc is widening by the day. While the Congress still believes that Rahul Gandhi is capable of leading the opposition bloc, Trinamool Congress, NCP, SP, even Uddhav Sena and, of course, as we highlighted, Samajwadi Party have now backed Mamata Banerjee on the leader pitch. So from the tussle over leadership to the lack of a common strategy in the parliament, the fissures within the opposition bloc are out in the open yet again. Not surprising, but it is the frequency of it which is. Interestingly, the opposition is yet again all set to move a no-confidence motion against Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. Many are now asking if opposition protests and what critics of the ruling party label as BJP's vindictiveness have exacerbated the fall in parliamentary standards. So as the Soros showdown peaks, we ask the big question, who's winning the war of narratives?
Let me give precedence to the witness. अपनी बात रखिए। सर, संजय सुनिए। दूसरों को उपदेश दे रहे हैं। हमारा पार्टी को आप बात करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। सदन की कार्रवाई 12 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है। This is all part of a game plan.
Soros and his foundation. It is not only George Soros. George Soros and many other elements who are working against India are to be countered unitedly by every citizen of India.
गद्दारी करते हैं, उनके एजेंट बनके काम करते हैं। जिस तरीके से जॉर्ज सोरोस के साथ सामने आता है वो बहुत ही चिंताजनक है। सर, जो लीडर ऑफ द हाउस बोले, उन्होंने जो बोले वो सरासर झूठ है।
I'm so impressed that BJP takes so much effort to create a false narrative. They pick and choose the narrative they want. They will pick up an OCCRP report, but they will ignore the World Hunger Index. They will ignore the World Press Freedom Index.
All right, introducing our esteemed panelists today. I am joined in by the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Mr. Shehzad Poonawala, Salman Soz, who's the spokesperson for the Congress Party, Professor Manojit Mandal, who's a political analyst, and Mr. Shekhar Iyer, who is a political analyst as well. Many thanks to you, gentlemen, for joining in. Mr. Soz, my first question is for you, and before I do that, in fact, I'd like to share some data with you. It's a fact that Mr. Gautam Adani entered the Forbes 40 richest Indians list in 2007. Adani Port's initial public offering, which was the IPO, was oversubscribed 116 times in 2007. That also indicates a strong investor confidence back then. Adani Power's IPO was subscribed 21 times in 2009, again showcases positive sentiment towards the group. The overseas investment after 2004 was significantly boosted, and that also led to a boost for the company's value. They've also acquired coal mines in Indonesia in the year 2008. They purchased coal mines in Australia in the year 2010. Now, who's responsible for propping up Adani is my question after all the data that I've gathered.
I think what you have to really ask yourself is you have some data. I will share some data with you too. And
right, go ahead, sure.
Yeah, there's plenty of data out here. Mr. Adani's companies today and you should be concerned about this. You're a citizen of India. 43% of all shipping containers in this country are handled by Mr. Adani's companies. 43%. It's not a joke. If you people are really love India, you have to think about the concentration of economic wealth in this country. A third of all coal transported in India is handled by Mr. Adani. 22% of thermal power capacity is with Mr. Adani's companies. The largest number of solar and wind plants in the country are with Mr. Adani. 51% of India's private electricity transmission. Private electricity transmission, 51%. If you people truly love your country, you will be concerned about the kind of market concentration that's happening in this country. And by the way, that is not all. You know, we've been raising issues about Mr. Adani's, closeness to the Prime Minister for years now.
Who was he close to in 2007 when he was listed as the 40 richest Indian by Forbes? Who was he close to? Clearly, you've not heard or acknowledged any of the data I've shared, Mr. Soros.
Yes, even then.
How was the IPO oversubscribed 116 times in 2007 when it was the UPA regime? How was Adani Power's IPO subscribed 21 times in 2009? How were the tripartite investment deals with Indonesia, coal mines in Australia?
Let me answer.
How?
No, but now you raised your voice.
You were raising your facts and I let you do so, but you clearly overlooked the facts that I shared. You didn't even bother to acknowledge them, Mr. Soros.
I think, Mr. You're an Ambani channel. You should at least let me talk about Mr. Adani.
Wow.
You have to understand that Mr. Adani has close links to Mr. Modi since his time in Gujarat, long time back. But what I'm saying now is, where are we today? Did Mr. Adani handle
We're talking about facts.
All shipping containers?
Let's stick to facts.
I'm asking you a question. If you have data, why don't you then refute data with data? Did Mr. Adani's companies handle 43% of all shipping containers in the country in 2007? Do you have that data? Can you say yes? You cannot say yes. I know you cannot, because that was not the case. Can you say?
You know why I'll not say yes, Mr. Soros? I'll tell you why I'll not say yes. Because I'm not the BJP spokesperson, and I'm very fortunate to have the BJP spokesperson over here. Shahzad Poonawala, time you enter into the discussion. I've given you 5 minutes, Mr. Soros. Shahzad Poonawala, please answer the question that Mr. Soros has presented. He's presented some facts. Let's acknowledge those facts. Shahzad Poonawala.
Well, I want to begin by taking the facts that Mr. Salman Soros has quoted and ask him a question based on that. Considering all that he has put in front of you, by his logic, Adani is a corrupt and somebody who is anti-national. Then I want to ask very clearly that why has Mr. Adani been given any kind of work in Telangana where he is investing 12,000 crores? I want to ask him that why was he given 25,000 crores investment opportunity in Chhattisgarh when Bhupesh Baghel was there? Why was he given solar power plant project in Rajasthan when Mr. Ashok Gehlot was there? Why was in the last 3-4 days the Viranium Port supplementary agreement extended where it has been signed by Pinarayi Vijayan, who's part of the India Alliance? And why in Jharkhand, which is ruled by JMM and Congress, the Godda power plant is being run by Mr. Adani? They should walk the talk and cancel all these projects first, because Mr. Salman Soros has already declared that he is a corrupt man and he has worked against the national interest. And having said that, Mr. Salman Soros, I hope rather than getting angry at the anchor, you would answer this question, that here is Mr. Sharad Pawar, not Akanksha Swaroop, not some channel that you label as A channel, B channel. Sharad Pawar on Hindenburg report. Hindenburg's Adani report seems to be targeted. So this means that by this logic that Sharad Pawar is on the payrolls of Mr. Adani. Now I want to ask that is also the Samajwadi Party and Trinamool Congress on the payroll of Mr. Adani? Because when Congress has been trying to raise this issue in Parliament, TMC, and I quote Mr. Shamik Bhattacharya, says that this is not the agenda or issue and Congress is actually destroying democracy's decorum by raising this issue again and again. I want to quote Samajwadi Party, who says that Sambal is bigger issue for us, not this Adani Vadani. So I want to ask Mr. Salman Soros that why so many people who are giving projects to Mr. Adani or are not interested in the Adani issue with you should break ties with them and cancel the projects. But having said that, I'll tell you why they are bringing this issue. And just last 20 seconds, Akanksha, and I will take that liberty because I have not made any kind of aspersions on the channel or on your journalism. Look, this is the reason. You know, today there was a issue of Soros and Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi and their connection. And I want to ask certain very pointed questions because Mr. Salman Soz is the national spokesperson of the Congress party. Salman Sozji, please answer that is Ms. Sonia Gandhi or was Ms. Sonia Gandhi co-president of FDL AP, Forum for Democracy Leaders AP, which was funded by Soros, but forget the issue of funding by Soros. That had one agenda of Azad Kashmir being a panacea for peace between India and Pakistan. Do you agree with it? Did Sonia Gandhi accept this or reject this? It has a part where it has been eulogizing Shabbir Shah, who's currently in jail, who's a separatist anti-India element. Do you endorse it? Does Sonia Gandhi endorse it? Did she take a stand against it? And thirdly, I want to ask you that why is it that Mr. Soros has so many links with the Congress party, and the same Soros has openly said that he wants to spend $1 billion to interfere with our democracy, and you have people like Rahul Gandhi quoting out of his reports as if it is gospel. You have Mr. Praveen Chakravarti lapping him up. You have Shashi Tharoor
thank you for raising those questions.
Now please
I
answer on this.
was hoping to do that, but the big talk of the day, Salman Soz, has also been that by the funding of FDLAP, clearly an indication that it is one publication that's also backing an independent Kashmir. Is that also the view of the Congress party?
So Akanksha, if you will give me just
Please,
10-15 seconds, let me just speak to the viewers of the show. You must have seen how the Congress spokesperson spoke and how the BJP spokesperson spoke. The BJP spokesperson spoke totally uninterrupted. Meanwhile, the Congress spokesperson was interrupted multiple times because this is a game. This is a game in which private interests are trying to take over this country, and this is all.
Now let's get down to facts.
But
we can't have allegations, counter allegations. Let's get down to facts, questions. I want to know about FDLAP.
Once interrupt Shahzad Poonawala. Why did you not ask him one question about the data?
I am going to show some patience. Show some patience. Please tell me. What is the connection between the Congress party, Sonia Gandhi and FDLAP? Please tell me about that.
The connection here.
Yes.
I will tell you. I know you get very excited about these things, but let me tell you. I'm not going to dignify Shahzad Poonawala's comments about Sonia ji. I'm not going to start asking about ministers in this government whose children may be funded by George Soros companies. Okay? I'm not going to talk about those ministers or their children. Because that is not the issue here. The issue here is, for example, you should be asking the BJP spokesperson, how dare BJP raise allegations, serious allegations about one of our most critical allies, the United States, the same ally with which we have a $35 billion trade surplus, and they never say anything against China, against which we have a trade deficit of $85 billion. Are they placing private interests above the national interest? Are they placing the private interests of Mr. Adani and Mr. Modi above the national interest? That is the real question.
I have another question for Salman, but before I do that, I think, are you done making your point, Salman, before you accuse me of interrupting?
Sure.
Shahzad.
I am happy to answer all questions that Salman has posed because unlike him, I'm not going to cast aspersions or run away. Salman says nobody blamed the United States. We spoke about the deep state of United States on which many comments are made by many commentators and politicians in United States itself. I don't know why you are defending the deep state. Maybe you'll defend Ilhan Omar next, who was advocating independent Kashmir. But the fundamental question is that Sonia Gandhi is above scrutiny. She's a member of parliament. She happens to be on a board of an organization where she's co-president, which is advocated Azad Kashmir. Does the Congress support it? Am I not entitled to ask? If a journalist asks you that question, you are trying to go and patronize me. Secondly, I will ask you that here is the MOU signed between Congress and China. You're a political party. Why don't you put it out in the public domain? Salman, you're a member of the Congress. Have you seen the provisions of this MOU? When is the last time a political
party signed
the MOU with
before you come up with that rebuttal, Shahzad, I have another question to that, and I'm going to quickly give the other two gentlemen who've been very patiently awaiting their turn. Salman, the big question that everybody also wants to know is what is the hang up over there in having a discussion on the floor of the House when it comes to the Soros link? Because if the Prime Minister of the country is willing to respond to the entire issue of how Samvidhan khatre mein hai on Saturday, subsequently we also know in the Rajya Sabha the Home Minister will be starting that debate. Why can't you in fact have a similar kind of a debate in one of the houses?
In fact, we should have debates on all these issues. We've been pressing for debates on all.
Absolutely.
We've been pressing
And that's
for
a
these,
question
but
I'm going
they've
to
not
take up
been-
with Shehzad also.
But they've not been allowing these discussions. And as
So
soon
are you
as the
saying
BJP
that
comes up
if
with a stupid
there
allegation,
is going to
then
be a
the-
discussion on George Soros, you're willing to go ahead with
no,
it?
wait a second. So you're saying that every time that we have been asking for it, why is Parliament blocked these days? Because the government is blocking Parliament. Because we've been asking for discussions that affect the people of this country. And what the BJP has been doing again and again is blocking those discussions. And now they have these stupid allegations about George Soros that the media channel that they were talking about, they were quoting, that media channel has basically condemned the BJP. By the way, one more thing that Shehzad did not tell you about, when he talked about deep state of the United States, that the United States Embassy in New Delhi was said that they're very disappointed with what the BJP has done. The ruling party of India has basically cast aspersions on the US State Department. This is what they're doing because they're trying to protect one man and his friendship with another man.
And what gave the US State Department the authority to indict somebody from India without
US
even
State
consulting or
Department did not-
informing the
The
upper
state-
echelons
no,
of
no.
the Indian
The US
authorities?
State- Madam,
No,
you should
I'm
check,
sorry.
madam, you
That's
should check the facts. US
a
State
field
Department-
I cover, Salman Soz,
US State
and
Department
that's
does
not the
not-
right approach. Who gave
Akansha,
the US State Department the authority to indict Gautam Adani without informing the Indian government?
Akansha, you should get your facts right. The US State Department does not indict. It's the Foreign Ministry. The indictment is by the
indictment
SEC.
is the issue over here. Don't
The
try and
indictment-
divert the issue.
If you do
The
not know
indictment
the
was
difference-
done
if you do
without
not know
informing
the
the Indian
difference
government, as
between
has already
SEC
been
and-
highlighted by the Ministry of
Akansha,
External Affairs.
if
Salman
you
Soz,
do
please
not know the
verify your
difference
facts.
if you do not know the difference
No, but
between
you
the
will
State
not
Department
listen.
and the SEC,
Shehzad.
then you should perhaps be doing some research. You know, you cannot ask such questions.
All right.
First of
The
all,
State
Shehzad,
Department
I'm
is the
giving you
foreign
30
First of all,
seconds before I
first,
move to
very quickly.
Manojit.
And I agree, Manojit has been waiting for a very long time. It is unfair to him also. Just 30 seconds. First of all, Salman is a dear friend of mine, and I would just request Salman that we can all have a debate without losing our patience or cool on anybody. Secondly, look, today when the Treasury benches demanded a discussion under 267 on George Soros and Congress links, the Congress members created a ruckus. It has been reported by PTI. Secondly, even Mr. John Brittas from the left party has suggested that let there be a discussion on George Soros. I want to ask Mr. Salman Soz whether he agrees with the left on this. And third and final point, look, Mr. Salman Soz, you come from a party which used to say foreign hand, foreign hand. In fact, you remember the conversation between Indira ji and Nixon and all the things that went around. So today are you saying that Indira ji was lying when she was saying there was foreign interference? I think you should be a little patient and answer the question. Is FDL AP associated with Sonia ji, which has spoken about Azad Kashmir? And what is your position on it? That's my simple question from the starting of the debate. I would appreciate if you can answer that.
We'll appreciate
she's a
that,
member
but
of Parliament.
Manojit Mandal, Kirti Azad today of the Trinamool Congress has gone on record to say that it should be Mamata Banerjee who should be heading the India alliance simply because compared to Congress, which has only a 10% strike rate against the Bharatiya Janata Party, it is the TMC which is swiftly moving forward in terms of its strike rate, which is a 70%. I'd like your response.
I think we've been debating it for the last, couple of days. But I don't think that's the issue of the debate tonight. But yes, in terms of Mamata's stature, experiences, I think she's the best female politicians after Mrs. Gandhi.
You know,
Indira
Manojit,
Gandhi.
why I'm asking that
We
question,
need to
because
talk
this is
about that.
also part
In
of, this is
what
also the
context
opposition.
you have brought this
This
question
is
in,
the
I don't
rift.
understand.
This is the rift within the opposition that is
So
also leading to the
Mamata
chaos in the
Mamata
parliamentary functionings. That's why I'm asking you.
The Trinamool Congress is a different political party. With the third, largest seats in the parliament and in the Rajya Sabha. Our leader is obviously Mamata Banerjee, and we all want to see her leading the country one day. So while there is a problem that Congress will see their leader leading the country. I don't understand in which context you are bringing this issue.
No, I'm bringing this context because it is also feeding into the chaos that's ensuing in the parliament, because clearly the opposition's lacking a unified strategy within the parliament. You want to corner the government at the center on Manipur. Fair enough, go ahead.
You mean to say we are stating the obvious fact about the stature of Mamata Banerjee that's leading to the chaos in parliament? What kind of an inference is this, madam?
No, that's don't twist my words.
The parliament can't be.
I'd like to bring
Parliament
in
can't be run by the treasury.
Shekhar Iyer, Is there a
No,
lack of strategy from
let me
the
speak at
opposition?
least. Let me complete one sentence. I go with Salman. You don't allow the others to speak opposition when
Go
it comes to
ahead,
opposition.
Manojit. I'll give you another
You
30
don't allow me to.
seconds. Please
To
go ahead.
run the house is the job of the treasury bench. House belongs to the opposition. It is they are responsible to run the bench, and to get rid of one issue, they are bringing in other issue where actually the real issues are being suppressed. Real issue is Manipur. Real issue is federalism. How you are blocking funds for the states which is run by which are run by the opposition leaders, like in Bengal. That's the real issue. Real issue is unemployment, price rise. But you have two issues. One is Adani and the other is Soros. What the hell Soros is doing? He is funding election in America since 2011. He's even funded election of Barack Obama's re-election in 2012. So go and arrest him. They are now, this person who is president-elect is your friend. Go and talk to him. Why are you bringing this issue? He's the single man, 94 years man sitting in New York. He's threatening India's sovereignty and integrity. Then God forbid save this country.
All right, Manojit. Have you made your point?
Yes.
Are you happy? Are you satisfied?
Bring in the real issue, Manipur,
Shehzad Poonawala
Bangladesh, they are the real issue.
Taking that attack forward, I just have one concern that when you compare the data in terms of parliamentary productivity, we are seeing the least productive winter session when compared to 2018. Since 2018, this has in fact been the least productive. And
for that, BJP is responsible. President is responsible.
I'm not asking you that question,
May I
Manojit. If
just
you
respond
listen to what the anchor is saying, perhaps you'll be able to process better. Shehzad.
Yes, first of all, I have great regard for Monojit Da, and he has rightly said that every party aspires that their leader should be the leader of the alliance, leader of the country. But Monojit Da, just 10 seconds, I want to make you hear something, please.
See, MPs are saying that Priyanka saying that Mamata Banerjee should lead the India bloc right now. That's a good joke.
Monojit Da, when it was asked to Manikam Tagore that Mamata Didi should lead the India alliance, Manikam Tagore said very arrogantly that it is a good joke. So he has called your party a joke. Manikam Tagore is from Congress. I am to respecting your right. You can see the sapna that Mamata Didi should lead alliance, should lead somebody, but Congress is calling you a joke. So you should take it up with Congress and don't get angry at the anchor for that. Secondly, you spoke about Manipur issue, sir. I respect that also. We had a discussion on Manipur. Then you had run out of parliament, and Manipur also, I would like to know how many of your MLAs from India alliance took the no confidence motion in Manipur assembly. And thirdly, I want to know that today Congress had a Manipur protest in Jantar Mantar. How many of your MPs went for that, since you are so much in love with them, in at least in debates, if not in parliament? And thirdly, I want to ask you, sir, Mehengai and Berozgari.
Right.
Please tell me 5 MPs of yours who have raised the issue of Mehengai, Berozgari with notices today. Just tell me 5 MPs who have done that in your party.
But I'm going to take closing thoughts from Shekhar Iyer right now. Shekhar Iyer, be it Sambhal, be it the Adani Soros issue, or even Manipur, many are saying that this is opposition's headless chicken moment. What is in fact leading to this decline in parliamentary functioning? Because for any healthy democracy to survive, it is important that there be accountability in the parliament and that there be space for healthy debates within the parliament, none of which we've seen this winter session.
Well, Akansha, I think none of these parties are willing to say all that they have to say inside parliament. The power, or what you call the capacity to listen to the opposite side and respond, is day by day eroding. And again, this problem is compounded by the fact that each political party is obsessed with some issue. Particularly, I'm talking about the opposition. Now, Rahul Gandhi believes that if he pulls down Adani, he will pull down Prime Minister Modi. And that is not something which is being shared by other opposition parties. They are exasperated by Rahul Gandhi's obsession with Adani issue. That's a fact. That is why they are not joining in. And you see, all that they are feeling, and that is not getting traction among the people. You are seeing election after election. People are concerned with their own problems. Now, well,
Shekhar, that's why I want to quickly bring you in. When Manojit is saying that this is apart from the topic that we are debating, do you think that that concern that you are highlighting when a Samajwadi Party or a Trinamool Congress don't join in the agitation or are saying that it's time that Didi should head the alliance, can these concerns be seen in isolation?
No, they cannot be, because if the other opposition parties are seeing a better leader in Mamata Banerjee than in Rahul Gandhi, that goes to show, because this over focus on one particular issue, which is not giving traction among the people. You see, you should not mix, all the industrial groups, big industrial groups. I remember the times of 80s, when the whole thing was targeted Dhirubhai Ambani. It was believed that the Congress helped Dhirubhai Ambani to become to build his empire. See, industrialists and industrial groups go through their ups and downs. But to assume that if you target the industrialists, you can pull down the ruling party of the day is a completely false approach. Because industrialists know how to face their own problem. And when an industrial group is growing and facing international competition, it will have international rivals. So that should not be a botheration of political parties, because that is what Sharad Pawar has been advising, that do not target individual industrialists. We have never done that. Because, see, and then there are contradictions that has been...
And I can quite agree with you, because I think the parliamentary functioning, no doubt, has taken a beating, and we cannot make this about one-upmanship where perhaps it's the ruling party versus the opposition. It cannot be just left to being a war of narratives. Many thanks to you, gentlemen, for sharing in your precious views here on Brass Tacks.